Hello and welcome to the show. It's great to have you once again, and thanks for joining me. Today's show is, because it's coming up to Halloween this Wednesday, we're going to have a ghostly feel, and I've pulled out all the stops. I've blued the budget, so next week there's no special effects, no CGI or anything. Because I blued the budget this week on a little lantern here, a little pumpkin. Look at that flashing pumpkin down there, and my black cat. Look at my black cat. There you go. So we're all in the spooky feel, and do come part of the show. Usually do, and it's great. It's great to hear from you, and I'll tell you how you can do that. If you would like to comment now, this before I do that, I must have ghosts in the system, because this writing down here is programmed to be in blue. Now it's not, and I don't know why. And so there must be some spooks in the system making it the wrong color. But that tells you how to comment. You need to go to the main Cambridge Historian Facebook page and find this video and comment underneath. Like, we are being broadcast on other pages, but on those pages, if you comment, we can't see it. So if you go to the main Cambridge Historian page, we can answer your comments, and you can find us on Facebook at the Cambridge Historian, and that's scrolling across the bottom really slow, and I don't know why. There's certainly spooks in the system somewhere, but there you go. Right, I'm gonna bring up got two guests on the show today, and one of them, Tony, is a paranormal expert. It's going to talk about that in a little while, but the first one I'm going to bring up, first guest, is Will Russell, good friend of mine who likes everything spooky. So I'm going to just bring him up now. Hi, Will.
Hi, Franz. Good to see you again.
Hi, and you. Yeah, we were just saying before the show started, we used to live in the same village, didn't we? So we were catching up. Poor Tony was in the middle, not knowing what was going on, and we were catching up about the old days in where we lived. I got a message from Mick already saying hello, Mick. Thanks for joining us. Now, you as an individual, you enjoy ghost stories as well, so especially in the Cambridge area, and you've actually written a few articles as well about Cambridge ghosts, haven't you?
Sure, I did a blog post.
What started your fascination with ghosts, and especially Cambridge ghosts?
My interest started a long time ago. I've actually got the book here.
Oh, brilliant!
Greatest Ghosts. I'm not sure if you can see the cover there.
Can you bring it a bit? If you bring it more bit forward, we should. That's it. Yeah, we can see it now.
Cool. So I had this a long time ago when I was very small.
Yeah.
And what excited my imagination, it had the ghost of Sawston Hall in it, and I was growing up in Sawston at the time. And there was kind of stories in the village of several ghosts. There's a kind of Queen Mary, a dog that ran around the grounds that I suspect now is probably the story of the Black Shuck dog, and also a night watchman. So having a kind of book on the world's greatest ghosts, and then having one literally just down the road from us, it kind of made me quite interested in the subject.
As a young lad, did you go down there to see if you could see anything yourself, or was you or not a bit too spooky?
No, definitely. In those days, they'd sometimes have open days and things. And you could go into the hall, but I never actually saw any ghost in the grounds or the hall at the time. But it's still an interesting place. It's a private place now. But it's at the time. Yeah.
Do you know the story? Could you tell us a little bit about the story behind it that you know of? Just for the viewers.
Definitely. Queen Mary had visited the hall once, and basically the king's men had come to find her, and she managed to escape as a milkmaid. Um, so when they escaped, they destroyed the hall, and she came back afterwards to rebuild the hall. And it's supposed to she's supposed to still haunt one of the bedrooms there. Apparently, and I think that the black dog is seen kind of running around the grounds, but I say that's probably the black shuck dog.
Yeah, there's many stories connected to that as well in the city centre. There's some streets that he's allegedly been seen down in it, running up and down and stuff.
Sure. Yeah, definitely. And that's what I like about Cambridge. There's so many great kind of ghost stories. I think my favourite one is it's such a classic ghost story. It's one from Trumpington Street.
Yeah,
and there's a house, or one of the places there for sale many years ago.
Is this the lady in green one on the picture?
The lady in green with the red feather in her hair.
Yeah.
And someone makes an appointment to go and see the house. And while they're waiting in the lobby, they admire this painting on the wall, kind of a scenic landscape, and a lady in a green dress and a red feather. And then they tour the house, and the person says, "Oh, I must tell you, there are rumours of a ghost in this house. I don't want that to put you off," sort of thing.
And it's being honest.
Definitely.
You don't get that much these days.
might be a selling point these days.
Yeah.
But and they say it's the ghost of a green lady with a red feather, and they said, "Oh, is that someone? Is that the one in the portrait?" And they return back to the painting, and of course, it's just a landscape painting. At that point, there's not even a person in it. So
that is one spooky story. The other one to do with Trumpington Street is, they say outside the Fitzwilliam Museum. Don't know if you've heard this one. It's a little tale for children, that the stone lines at midnight stand up and go to the guttering bit in the street and drink from the water. Have you heard that one?
Oh yes, yeah. Can't imagine it.
No. Unless you're highly heavy, you've just come from the pub from down the road, and you've drunk a few, then maybe.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And there's little St Mary's Lane. Do you know the one that's just off Trumpington Street? Do you know that one?
Down towards Peterhouse College. Yes.
Yeah.
And I think I remember from our conversations before that you'd done some recordings down there and had all the electricity from your equipment.
Yeah. That's something really, back in the day, my early days of radio, and doing a little bit of Cambridge history on radio. We had little things like this. See the little they take batteries, but different, more old fashioned than them. And went down there, just walking down the street, up and down. Brand new batteries, went completely flat. Went to the shop, brought some new batteries, walked down there, completely flat. Walked away, turned it back on, worked perfect. Batteries are full. So who knows? High electricity area, I don't know. But they say there's a young lad. And I have spoke to people. I haven't experienced this myself. There's supposed to be a little Victorian lad, and if you walk down there, you can feel him pulling your pockets and trying to get into your pockets and stuff. I've had a few people say that you've experienced that down there. Yeah. And a bit further up, do you know the one of Silver Street? The ghost. The ghost of Silver Street.
No.
Well, a university lad, back in the day, you had to be in the grounds by a certain time. He had gone out, come back late, and was hoping to jump over the wall in Silver Street back into the college. And he was walking along, and there's this bloke, like from about me here, about that far from him. So he's right behind him. Next thing, the bloke's disappeared. Not anywhere, and he's just scaled up the wall. So I don't know what that was about, if he had experienced a ghost or his night out, drunk one too many. Yeah. And there's also a lady a bit further up that got hit by an Olsen cart, dragged her down the road, and apparently you can hear sometimes early hours in the morning screaming. People scream where she got hit because Addenbrooke's Hospital was in Trumpton Street, and they took her to Addenbrooke's Hospital. Don't know if you've heard that one.
No.
But apparently you can hear us. You can hear everybody scream. Ah! I haven't. I've sat out there. I have sat out there at 2:00 in the morning, waiting to hear it, but I haven't heard anything.
Amazing.
Maybe the wrong day.
Is it Elizabeth? What, I say, kind of ghostly noises. Is it Elizabeth Way that you're supposed to be able to hear the charging of horses?
Yeah, down there, because that was all redeveloped in the early 70s. They say as well. The Newmarket Road. I don't know if you've heard a story about the Penguin Man. A man who looks like a penguin who walks down Newmarket Road. Now, the best way, if you look at history and what it could be, because he had a beak like a penguin and stuff. If you think about it, it looks like one of those. My thought of it is probably one of those plague doctors. If you know from the plague where they had a mask on.
Yeah,
and that's what I think. My thought of it.
So, how many ghostly experiences have you actually had in Cambridge Farms?
Who me personally? Yeah. I'm open-minded about stuff. I never say it's what it is, because I know sometimes your mind can play tricks.
Yeah. But
there is occasions, like everybody, you can't explain it. It is unexplained. Now, a few of them, and I'm going to, if hopefully Tony's listening, because he could probably give his view in a little while about these, because I did say these. Man, you know Madley Hall, don't you? Well, yeah. Well, I was there for a period, and of course, Lady Ursha, they say that she walks because her son basically took stones from a church in Histon, smashed it all down. Don't know if you know that story, and allegedly built some of Madley Hall with it, and she was disgraced. And they say you can see her walk down the drive with her head down in shame. Now, I was there at 6 a.m, and I did see a figure in black standing at the end of the driveway of Manley Hall. Now, if that was her or some lady out at 6 a.m, I don't know. Another experience I had was as you come in, you got bit further, you got some stairs, and at the top of the stairs they used to lay the daily newspapers. And I was looking at the papers, and there's a big window, of course, that looks out, and I heard this bloke say, "Past the times, mate," and I could sense somebody behind me turned around with the paper to give it to him, and there was nobody there. So that really did, because I know full well I heard somebody say that. But the main one was early hours of the morning, walking through the corridors, and I could hear a party. Now, this isn't a modern party, like, yeah, like that kind of thing. It was people just happy and jolly, drinking. You could hear basically an old kind of get-together. And I walked up to the room where it was at, and I could hear it. And undone the door, nothing. Just silent, and all I could smell was cigar smoke. And but that could have been me half asleep, half awake, imagining it. I don't know, but it seemed real to me anyway. But they're my personal experiences. People can take them as they are, because they're unexplained. I can't explain them, and it could be your mind, or it could be the Twilight Zone. You don't know. You don't know. But other stories, people have actually gone. There's a story that somebody went back in time in the yards in the back of Manley Hall, and actually went back to the time of Elizabeth I and saw a court thing there. I don't know if you've heard that. But stay with us, Will. I'll bring you back up in a minute. I'm going to bring Tony, so we'll all chat together. I do want people to comment. Usually we get people commenting. We've only had Mick comment. We want to hear your ghost stories. Come on. Have you experienced the ghost? Have you have you seen a ghost? Share your ghost stories to us. We'd love to. And if you've got any questions, or maybe there's a ghost story Will doesn't know about in Cambridge and you want to share it with him, you'd love to hear it, wouldn't you, Will?
Definitely.
Yes. And I do share your ghost stories. But I'll pop you down for a minute and I'll bring up Tony. Okay. So that was Will. Of course, he'll be back very shortly. I'm just going to bring up Tony. Hi, Tony.
Hi, Fonzie. Okay, yeah, I was listening to yourself, Will. Good evening to both of you.
Yeah, hopefully you're hearing my stories there.
I did. Obviously, a bit of a beacon for it. It was interesting what you're saying about the battery failure.
Yeah.
That you mentioned coming out of the shop, switched it on, battery failure, put another set in, battery failure, and then it recovered. That's quite more common than what people realise. We've encountered that yourself numerous times of mass battery failure. Some of them just completely dying and become bin fodder, but others, as we discovered just a week ago, recovered back to 0.75% the following day. So that's an interesting one. I think a lot of the areas local, obviously I'm not Cambridge, but I'm a Cheshire lad. I'm not familiar with it, but a lot of it was down to hauntings, historical stuff, that type of thing. Hauntings are quite uncommon in domestic dwellings like houses, tend to be in more historic buildings, and there's not much you can do about them either. You're stuck with them, they're there forever. So, quite a few things, aren't you? Disembodied voices is another one. I've not experienced.
Do you feel ghosts are if I'm being honest, how I see it, it's like everything, you get a book and like an imprint is, to me, it's like an imprint on time, just repeating itself. Is that fair to say that?
Absolutely. What we do is we clearly define the ghost, haunting, the spirit, completely different, two different phenomena altogether. We look at the ghost as like residual energy, which is what you're referring to. Time being replayed backwards. Some call the stone tape theory. And it can, historical hauntings can go centuries, decades, and it can go on for centuries, where with the spirit issue is something fundamentally different. Hauntings, as you mentioned, are just time being replayed.
Because the story goes sometimes about people walking upstairs that were there 10, 15 years ago, but gone now. And is that an example of that? Yeah,
that's a good one. Are you familiar with the term EVP, electronic voice?
Could you, for viewers though who are not sure, could you explain it a little bit?
Well, what electronic voice phenomena is, you get a standard, used to be tape, but it's now digital recorded, dictaphones type of thing. Press the card, you leave it at the side, and you say nothing. You play it back later, and there's some sound or voices on there which you can categorically say should not be there. The issue, you can enter into a conversation. So you can say, is anyone there, for example, what's your name? The trouble is you can't hear them answering back, but you actually replay the recording back later. So that's electronic voice phenomena. You can find that anywhere.
So what's happening is you're asking the questions and you only hear the answers once you've listened back to it a bit later on. So there may be an answer there, but you're not aware of it till later.
That's right. That's the difficulty with them, because you can ask a question, you may get a completely irrelevant answer. As long as you can completely rule out any outside contamination, such as passing traffic, people walking past, that type of thing, then it's a good capture. It's the most common phenomena with any investigation that you'll ever get involved with.
Have you caught some? Is there an example you can give of one that stands out to you?
Yeah, we've had what brought us into the game is EVP. We have a separate website, Electronic Voice Phenomena UK. We've had historical things, for example, like one in the morning where we had clearly a child and I was there. The thing with this is that we recorded themselves, so we can actually say it's genuine. A young child saying, "Does anybody want to come out to play?" Now that's a full paragraph. That's incredibly rare with an EVP, where you would normally just get maybe 1, 2 words, 2 symbols, that type of thing. We recorded a clock in another room, clearly a grandfather clock ticking away. There's no grandfather clock in the room. That can only be an historical haunting. It's a sound from the past. But with others, it's like even when people have issues within the house, some of these things you've experienced, is it haunting, residual energy, or is it a spirit problem, which is currently an intelligence that you've got? And it's just finding the answers to them too. But the EVP is always a fascinating one because we get a lot of captures done by mobile phones. People take video, predominantly say the children, and when they listen back, they've got something in there which they can't explain.
So you see sometimes people make genuine videos and they take a video, look at it later on, and they see something that wasn't there before. Have you been involved with anything like that?
I'd say as high as 50% of the, because we deal with over 200 cases a year, 50% will be images or accidental movie capture. Accidental. The movies can be problematic because our ears are quite selective. So if I was to take a video of my child here, all my brain is focused on that movie of the child. I may not be taking any notice of outside contamination, passing cars, traffic, that type of thing. So some people, when they capture it, they find it quite a frightening experience. So we analyse it. We can extract audio from video and give them an answer. You know, quite a common one at the moment is the woman's scream. We only had a case of this again a couple of days ago. We played the video back. We can hear a woman screaming.
So there's no image. You just hear the scream on the video.
Yeah, the difference there is when you actually extract the audio, put it into an analyzer, and you bring in a spectrum analyzer, something you'll be familiar with the sound. You can see clearly that it's not a human who's made it. It was actually on the
by the waveform of it.
Yeah, it was about 2,500 hertz. So we know it's not in the human speech. And when we matched it up, it was an urban fox. They just simply didn't hear it at the night. It sounded like a woman's scream, but it's a fox. Household was delighted because it can be a frightening experience. If if this happens, you want an explanation for it. Not everything is paranormal. I'll show you that. Only a small proportion is going to be paranormal.
Yeah, you've given me a couple of pictures as well to put up. Is there one? Which one do you want me to show first?
Anything there.
I'll put this one up. I'll put it on the solely on the screen so people can just see that. So if you could explain what people are looking for.
Yeah, the first thing we look at with any images get sent to us is it genuine? So we'll always look at the metadata within the image. No good sending us copies, photos, screenshots, that type of thing, because we'll just simply debunk it. But that's a genuine photograph. The girl in the picture, she was actually getting married for the first time. And what we weren't aware of when we looked at it, it was a genuine photograph, is if you look to her right arm, it's sort of disappeared.
It's very small for me, but I will have a good look after the show.
Yeah, and around her is just like white mist. Now, all we actually said with this, it was a genuine photograph. When the Nationals got hold of it, they turned it into something that maybe they shouldn't have done. Call it the father of the bride had recently passed away. They've come to see the party. What we weren't aware with that is on to the right hand side of it was a small table and some of his ashes were there. We weren't even aware the father had passed away. So there was a connection and she felt quite comfortable.
So there's where on the right side of her, is this her father's ashes on the table? Her
father's ashes in a small container. We weren't aware that. Our job was to analyse the photograph. It was genuine. We have no explanation of why her arm has disappeared and been replaced by this mist. No idea. We can't say that it's paranormal, but we can't say it's not.
But it's just a straight photo, no editing, nothing, and it's just a phenomenon, basically. Something
yeah, we
happening.
marked it down as unexplained because we didn't have an explanation for it.
Yeah.
You know, we know that it wasn't planted. You know, we do get, you know, the odd picture that's clearly here, it's been photoshopped. That one wasn't. It was a genuine one.
Yeah.
She was convinced it was a father. And
I'm gonna have to check it out because on my screen I've only got a little tiny screen because I've got all these screens everywhere with different pictures on in front of me. But I'm gonna have a look at that when we're finished. Yeah. But there's another picture here. I'll put that one up.
Yeah, this is incredibly interesting. This has got a two story to it, which we will find interesting.
It looks. I'll tell you what it looks like to me before you say anything. What I can see, because sometimes your mind can make it joins the dots together, doesn't it? It tries to make sense of what it sees. Because that's the brain. What you're looking at, it tries to understand it. What I can see is it's an alien head upside down. I don't know if anybody else. Yeah, but you explain what it is, though. I'm just saying what I.
No, you're right. A lot of it is that's the thing with the brain. If it gets random images or sound, it tries to make something for it. Quite often, you get a picture, and you can get it with EVPs as well. You can hear a voice, but how I hear it, maybe not the same as maybe yourself, fans, or somebody else. Yeah. The interesting one with this one was that you're familiar with the TV show "Help My House Is Haunted."
I've heard of it. Yeah, I don't know if Will, if you've heard of it. No, he's not. I know most haunted. I don't know how you feel about that program.
It's a new show of three mediums, and they'd actually been into this property about 2 months before, and apparently cleared it of all spirits. So we went in with quite a powerful and local medium named Laura Bailey, and as investigators in a building that's got 57 rooms, we can often be found looking at our own places. So the medium would come to us, Laura, and said, look, in the cellar area, 3 EMF meters which we'd loaned out to her team were all spiking. EMF, you familiar with that? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. And at the same time, she said she felt the spirit or presence of a female with a child. We go into the cellar. Now we're pitch black. You see the blackness.
Yeah, it's very, very, very dark. It's only dark, like I was saying, that image to the left side.
Yeah, my 2 colleagues, Andy and Amanda, were with me at the time. We were there, complete darkness, and we've taken multiple shots with 2 cameras.
Yeah. So this is just shot after shot after shot after shot. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm using 2 cameras now because we're there myself. We know it's a genuine capture.
Yeah.
And this one came to attention. The picture before it and the pictures after it were completely black because it's a black cellar. There's nothing there except for this particular image. And if you can just look, it's quite difficult, to a right-hand side, you can just see part of a circle. It looks, when you look close up, like a head of a small child. And
is this whereabouts? Somebody's sent a message, and I'll just put it up on the screen.
Yeah, that's a colleague. Yeah, he's met something we mentioned before about seeing random images within data.
So where am I looking on this picture? Sorry.
Yeah, you can see this upside down haven, as you call it. To the right-hand side of the bottom of the picture. Yeah. I can't see it because my screen's over it. So there looks like a child. So what suggestion is that what we've actually captured was what the suggestion was from the medium, Laura, that this is a female, and it does look like a female with a small child next to it. Just a lucky shot, and it shouldn't be there because we're in a completely pitch black.
No, I totally get it. Yeah.
You know,
it's very small. Like I say, it's very small to me at the moment. But I'm gonna check that out after because I deliberately didn't want to ask you what was on the images because I didn't want to distort what I was gonna see. So I'm gonna definitely have a look. Definitely have a look at them.
Yeah.
Okay, there's another one. I'm going to put that up. It's a link to a website about the Titanic. So I'm going to add that up.
Oh yes, that's right. Yeah, I remember this.
If you can tell us a bit about this, it's from Fox News.
Yeah, it's yeah, the lady, Cheryl, friend of the page, gone into Belfast, Robinson's Bar, and where they stole a lot of the original Titanic artifacts, including off the shipwreck itself.
Yeah.
And a mother-in-law, I think some anniversary of having, took this picture, and a strange image behind her.
This is what's circled here, the yellow circle. Yeah,
Yeah. Now the problem is with this one is that what we can say is the picture is absolutely genuine. What we can't say is what the image is, because we have absolutely no idea.
It's certainly, to be fair, it doesn't look quite human, does it? Really?
No. It would be quite tall anyway. We couldn't find an explanation. We use a variety of filters, and we have absolutely no idea what it is. The Fox News pick it up then. The America are quite big into ghosts and spirits.
Oh yeah, and anything that's unexplained, yeah.
And you can see by the headline, couple photobombed by supposed captain of ill-fated ship.
Yeah.
We were fortunate with that one because they only just said, we only said that the picture was genuine. What we didn't say what the picture was. There is a difference between that. So yeah, fine. It's one of them, and I think she's quite happy that she got the name in the press at the same time. We always get an American Fox News, do we?
Yeah, no. To me, I would not say it was a ghost of. To me, it looks unhuman. Really, do you know what I mean? It doesn't look quite human-y to me.
Yeah. What we would have expected if it had been somebody walking past very quickly, we would have expected to see all the picture blur.
Yeah.
Which is what we've seen before. But I have no idea what that is. I think that anything with the paranormal, supernatural, there's always
definitely. But it's something that's not right. It to me, it seems half. It's got half. This is my. I don't know if viewers what they think. Love to. It seems half human, half creature to me.
Yeah, no idea. We looked at it. We just said, okay, the picture's genuine. We have no idea explanation of what it is. The press are very quick to put in their own interpretation of that.
Well, the press will sell it into something much bigger because it's news for them.
Particularly the Titanic. That's something. And at the end of the day, fans, if Henry VIII manifested in front of you now, kissed you on the cheek and walked through that wall, some of your viewers would put it down to hallucination or reflection. You can never, you said before you.
Well, there's a lot of things unfortunately happen now. Like I said, I'm down in the middle of everything. I think, oh, okay. I don't know what happened there, and I can't explain it, so it's unexplained. But you get a lot of people, especially with YouTube nowadays, who fake a lot of stuff, like UFO ghosts. And that, when somebody genuinely, not because somebody's genuine, because they say, I don't know what it is. I've got no idea, but that's just not right. That's how I find someone's being genuine. But you get lots of people faking stuff, and it decredits what is really unexplained.
Yeah, because it does exist, folks. I've been in the game.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, no, there is. I can vouch for that. There is some things that can't be explained. Yeah, there is something.
We are learning all the time. We're learning about it all the time. Next year we'll know even more. And we're in an age now where we've got equipment and electronics to help us find to actually find the answers. And not, like I say, 90% of the stuff that we deal with, they want to get rid of it.
Do you feel, though, in years to come, from your, like, it's now seen as this has happened, but it can't be explained. It's a phenomenon we can't find the root to it. Do you feel in time there will be an explanation that somebody will actually give 100%? Do you think that's a possibility?
Well, I think it's already been done with it's called a skull experiment. Anybody that's familiar with the paranormal will know what I'm referring to. Anyone's got any doubts, just look into, go into YouTube, put the skull, spelled SCOLE, experiment. That was the first time that are you familiar with the Society of Psychical Research?
Yeah, they actually had roots in Cambridge. I don't know if you.
Right. Okay. I know the main office is now in London. We're actually members of the SPR. They attended this investigation over a 2-year period. They put the scientists in there together with all the skeptics to try and rule it out. But they've got incredible evidence in image as well as movie form, which can't be disputed. If anyone's looking at any element of doubt, that will remove it. And it's a full, various books made on the topic as well. That's probably the closest anyone's ever been to actually proving without question that an afterlife of some description exists after we pass on.
From a personal view, like you were saying, EVPs. Now, back in my radio days when I used to manage a radio station, we had a ghost show, a paranormal show, and the guys would do EVPs live, and I'd be watching them. I'd be watching them do this, and then playing back, and actually I would hear things. So I knew 100% this was genuine. There was no way. There is something definitely there, but unfortunately, I think some people you won't always convince. They're always no, and there's some who just, I don't think I'll ever understand. Do you feel that? And never understand it?
No, I think there are people that, you know, we've done various surveys. In this country itself, 45% of those surveyed have experienced a paranormal, what they consider to be paranormal or unusual.
I think some people probably do experience it, but can't see it for what it is. Do you feel that's the case as well?
Yeah, and 6 out of 10 will say they believe in that. It's some you can't convince otherwise. You know, we have a phenomenal amount of movie centres with, we won't even call them anomaly, we call them light anomalies, because it's clearly dust, it's airborne. Yeah. But, you know, we can often get a skeptic that's got a completely closed mind. No matter what you say to or show him, he'll just no, it doesn't exist. Yet you can have the others who are utterly convinced that this is a light anomaly of a passed away relative, for example. We're not in a position to dispute that, and we wouldn't do. But not everything is paranormal, I'm sure. Very small portion.
But there's a lot of people now. You get people who talk to psychic people. Now, I personally, I'm not calling anybody. I feel if somebody wanted to talk to me, they would tell me who they are, what they wanted, and give a bit more information. Now, am I wrong, or would you say that's not correct? How do you feel about in that?
That one moves into the spiritual side, which as an investigator we seldom track into. That's your colleague Amanda's department, that one. I can understand what they're saying is if you've got a grandfather, sometimes a parent, if they want to make contact, why don't they make contact with them?
Yeah.
We often say maybe they have. You just, you know, there's no coincidence that when we get the reports in and they look into it, there are common threads such as anniversaries, you know, such as birthday, that type of thing. People moving in or out of property, and as well as house refurbishment can trigger activity. I'm not convinced that anyone, you know, you can just flip a switch and a spirit will come visiting. You know, a psychic or maybe more a spirit medium would suggest otherwise on that one. but it moves into an area of the spirituality which we're not comfortable heading toward because we can't prove it. You know, if I was a medium, for example, and said, I've got your lost loved one next to me, I can't prove it. But if I arrive at your house armed with equipment and meters and can take photographs, EVPs, spirit box, whatever.
That's probably more the angle, your angle. I would, if you sat there, if you come to me and said, I'm talking like to my father, I'd be a bit okay. But if you sat there, showed me videotape of an image moving about and it can't be explained and an audio recording, then I'd think, hey, I was here when it happened. And there's something in that. Do you think that's fair of me to take that kind of? Because
I think you're absolutely right. Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think that's the picture we showed earlier that you call an alien. I said it looked like a female. That was where the medium, Laura, and the investigators worked together. You know, she suggested it was a female in the cellar. We go down and we photograph it, and we got some other energy readings at the same time. So that's validating each other. But the difficulty that a lot of people have, those that go to see a medium, they're looking for that evidence, that categoric proof that they are connected, and it's sometimes difficult. You know.
No, totally. I'm not discrediting anybody. I'm just before anybody thinks I've got things against mediums, I haven't at all. I'm just trying to look at the bigger picture and
we're the same. We've never done an investigation ever without a medium being present. We've got one on Wednesday, Halloween in Wrexham, and we've got a medium on Hampton who's coming along with us on that one. Last week we're dealing with a difficult job in Somerset. We've had a medium and a demonologist involved with that one. So we work with these. We'll call them spiritual consultants, and they're incredibly useful when it is we're looking for that edge, because we can look in the wrong place. You know, I've got a medium. Good. I believe in their ability, but from someone like yourself, who you get a cold reading, for example, you may have difficulty in acting up what it is that you say, whether it's something back up so along with it. You know.
I'm the kind of person that actually, like you were saying, I need solid proof. Until I get that solid proof, or it can't, or there's proof to show, no, this can't be explained, then that's me. I'm going to bring Will back up in the last little bit for us chat. I can imagine he's been listening in. See what questions you've got. Is there any questions you've got, Will, about what we've been chatting about?
Sure. I mean, I found that all fascinating. I'm very much similar to yourself, Hans. I love ghost stories and kind of folklore. But kind of, you know, sometimes wonder where the proof is. What I thought was really interesting that Tony was talking about, though, a lot of the kind of ghost books around Cambridge, the ghosts are from hundreds of years ago, but this is kind of more present pictures and things, because now with kind of mobile phones and digital cameras, people have way more opportunity to actually take these pictures. And I thought that's actually quite interesting to see a couple of more recent examples.
Yeah. Could you, I don't know, on your screen, how big are the pictures on your screen? Would you be able to see them?
They were quite small, but I'll definitely have a look later.
That's the problem. While we're recording this, we can only see it in small. Everything's small. But your views on the research, because this is anything that you can want to ask Tony about what he does that put you.
He's going to be doing an event on Halloween, and I just wondered about kind of the real significance of it being Halloween and how much that is really a kind of a commercial opportunity for marketing, as opposed to something where something's more likely to happen.
Yeah, the Halloween one's an interesting one, because what we'll guarantee is probably Wednesday night and Thursday we'll get more messages and calls for help, which is no different than when we run series 16 of Ghost Adventures on a Friday. We get an increase in contacts, you know, reported activities out there. So at this moment in time, there is a lot more going on about the Halloween situation. But the Halloween as we know it today isn't how it was based on. You know, going back to pagan times, aren't we? With the Druids.
Today, unfortunately, it's like most things are marketing.
Yeah, because it was, it's based, we know it goes back to pre-Christ. So the intention was with Halloween is that they were there to remember the dead. The Druids then introduced the bonfire. So when he brought contact with the loved ones, they didn't bring the dark stuff back. The Romans took it on further, where they introduced the bobbing of the apple. That was a Roman idea. We have then Guy Fawkes, don't we? On 1605, when the Guy Fawkes, we've got a bonfire, and I think that's where the confusion come around, where historically Halloween was about contacting and paying respect to the departed loved ones.
So it was more, instead of contacting them, more a celebration.
Yeah, it was a celebration. The reason why the Romans introduced the bobbing the apple to other activities. Then, of course, the Americans then in the 20th century bring in Halloween, get the pumpkin. It's always been historically terms in this country. And we have Halloween now with scaring people to death, trick or treat, and it's lost its true meaning. I don't believe that there's more in activity.
But nowadays, it's more of a marketing thing for scary movies and selling loads of sweets in a supermarket. Like you said, it's lost its way. It's like most things, Christmas, the celebration of Christ, but it's all about what the shops are selling, unfortunately, and Halloween's the same.
Yeah. The Americans turned it into quite a dark night, 31st of October. Halloween. It's quite dark in American life, and it isn't. It's there to the time you remember your do
you know if there's a reason why it's the 31st of October?
I think it comes from what I can remember is the Gaelic and the Celts. At the end of the day, a Druid is just a Celtic priest, really, at the end of the day. But they're the ones that sort of evolved that sort of date. They have a different name for it, which you can't recall, but it's always been the 31st of October. Going on the various inscriptions have been left on the stone work and tablets at the time. So it's always been that 31st of October. It's been interesting. Yeah.
Any more questions, Will?
I actually have my own. It's probably an experience that can be explained, but it'd be great to run it past Tony to see if he come across anything similar before. This was many years ago when I'd been at a leaving do, and I returned to my car. To clarify, I'd only drunk kind of orange and lemonade that particular evening. Now I got in my car and sat, and I thought I saw something in the rearview mirror.
Yeah.
And I looked in the rearview mirror, and I saw a policeman sat in the back seat of my car for a fraction of a second.
Wow.
I jumped out of my car, very scared. I opened every door of the car, and of course, there's nothing in the car. It took me about 10 minutes to actually get back into the car.
I would have walked home. I would have got back in here.
I was pretty spooked. Now, I've since put it down to it as a misty night. There was lights. There might have been a smudge on the wing mirror, and I might have just seen a shape or a shadow and turned it into something in my head. But I just wondered if you come across anything along those lines before.
Yeah, Fon spoke about something before, and my colleague Andy put a word up called pareidolia.
I'll put that comment back up.
Yeah,
there you go. Back on the screen.
That's the one. I always pronounce it wrongly, but the idea behind it is the brain looks at random data and formulates a common image, such as a face, quite common. So you look at the rearview mirror, which you normally would expect to see rearview mirror, and all you need is some trips of light, and it can make random pictures, random images. You see a face, or mostly faces. You would see nose, eyes, that type of thing. It's personal experience. I can come up with a rational explanation. You can choose to believe it, or think, well, I saw something paranormal. But it would freak anyone up. Now, I have coming from paranormal events, particularly early hours of the morning. You look in the mirror and you're always a little bit, is anything going to be there to take anybody back with me, or is it come with? It's a bit freakish, you know.
I tell you what it reminds me of. I don't know if either of you. There's a famous photo of a man in his car. No, a woman or a man, and there's somebody on the back seat, and it's supposed to be the mother or something. Watching over. Have you seen that photo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it sort of like that?
I think that question's for you, Will, isn't it?
No, it was more of just like in the movie, just seeing someone sat there, kind of pasty face of a policeman's uniform.
Can I just say something? Sorry if I let you carry on. Mick Brown's got a brilliant comment. Doctor Who's finished, and all the Doctor Who fans, because the viewers have gone up. Brilliant. Only Mick Brown can say that. Carry on, Will.
Cool. Now, I know the picture you're taking. That's actually someone clearly on the back seat looking out of the window.
Yeah.
It felt like it was looking me bolt in the eye, but I have put it down since to the, you know, it being lights and things or mists and things. And I think as you say, you just almost make something out of what you see and the patterns.
Yeah.
I think that's
I think
Becky's saying that the picture was the mother's funeral.
Yeah, that's when I remember this one in the old car. I think it was in the 50s, 60s.
Your friend saying about the man in the moon is a perfect example.
Yeah. He's got that wrong. It's not the moon, it's Mars.
Is that the face? Is that the face? Yeah.
It's Mars. You might have had a couple of lads, that lad tonight, one about the moon. So, yeah, it's definitely Mars. But that's a good one about the picture. I think it was something. You say, was it the woman's funeral? Yeah,
Becky. Yeah. They're now having a discussion about Doctor Who between them in the background. This is about ghosts, guys, not Doctor Who. Yeah, carry on. Right. Yeah, it was the lady's funeral, and they could see her in the back. Now, like, I think you're a bit like me, Will, in respect. You yearn to want to know what it is, and because you can't say what it is, you try to give an answer. Like you're saying, it could be a shadow, or it could be a mark on the mirror or something. But you still can't say it's that, can you, really, Tony? He may have actually, like you were saying, seen a real police officer in the back of your car. You could have genuinely seen somebody.
Yeah.
You can't rule it out.
And I think, it might have been yourself that mentioned this to me, Fons. Is that the reason people kind of see historical ghosts is that when you see if you'd see a ghost from nowadays, they might be dressed in more common dress as you'd be dressed today. You might not even realise they're a ghost because you walk past people in the street and you just don't notice them. They could just.
Yeah, well, it's like I don't know if it's like the time traveller theory. A lot of people say, like you're saying about ghosts walking past and you don't realise, but it's a time traveller. A lot of people say if people could travel through time, you'll see a time traveller. Now, my theory is, when I was a kid, I sat on the bus and I thought, that lady in front of me could be from 400 years in the future. Instead of going on holiday to Spain, she's nipped back to 1992 and just blending in. It's right, though, isn't it? And the same with ghosts. You don't know if somebody's passed the other side and basically reliving an event, able to relive events and come part of it, and you're seeing somebody who's not there. How do you feel about that, Tony, in respect?
The greatest example of that is the York Treasurer's House. It was in 1964. Plumber goes into the cellar, does some work. Next thing is he hears horns, and through the wall to his right hand side, he sees a full legion coming through. He saw at least 20 Roman soldiers, some on horseback, full colour, with shields and swords. You could only see below the knee. Now, he only counted 20, but by that stage, he'd legged it. I think anybody in the right.
I wouldn't have got to 20. I would have got to 2, and I'd been gone.
It was actually subject to quite a lot of ridicule, but in the 1980s, it proved that the colour of green that he saw was in fact a colour from that legion in York. Then in the 2000, when they excavated it, found that underneath the treasure's house there was in fact a Roman.
Oh, sorry, I just completely had a heart attack. My God, my daughter just banged the door flying open in front of me, live. God, I've just sorry. Carry on.
Yeah.
Carry on.
So what you've got there with the haunting are multiple entities in full colour with sound. So we know that with the haunting, that's ghost residual energy. The plumber was quite adamant that they weren't aware of his presence. So I think this is just time being replayed backwards. Because you've got multiple entities. That's
what, like I was saying about up the stairs.
Yeah.
Like people climbing stairs that are no longer there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
it's like somebody. How I see it is somebody who's very attached to an area. Say, for instance, I've got a great. My great grandma was very attached to where she lived. That energy, while she was alive, was so strong that it's left an imprint because it was a strong part of her life. Is that a good way of it? Putting it.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons why they call it stone tape theory. There's no scientific reason that it should occur, but it does. But it's like with Becky's just saying that all spirits have. She's absolutely right. I've not seen any evidence where a physical ghost, in full manifestation, is giving off any form of energy at all. Spirit, different. People mix them together and they're completely two different entities. The reason why is wrote with his book. It can go back centuries, decades and centuries, and it's repeating. It's always the same. You see the same shape in the same corridor, same woman in a black dress or whatever, and we may well have walked past them today in the street. We just never know.
Just got to be careful. Okay, well, I've just realised we're coming to the end of the show. It's been brilliant. We're gonna have to have another ghost special at some point. But I'll start with Will. Anything that you want to round up quickly, Will? I know you've been fascinating listening to all this. I've been watching you in the lobby, and you've been really fascinated by all this. So, anything you want to round up with?
No, it's just really fascinating to hear more about kind of the kind of present day. Kind of folklore around ghosts, because most of the stuff I read is kind of very old folklore, so it's kind of interesting to see some of the more present things. I don't really watch kind of Most Haunted and the programs like that. To do about someone who's actually out there in the field doing this stuff has been fascinating.
It's been great having you as well, Will. So no, we'll have to get you back on. And quickly before I ever chat with you, Tony, I'm going to put up. This is your when I get it to come up. This is your for people to see. This is your website, isn't it? If they want to check it out, there's just so they know what they're looking for. You can meet the team. There, I think that's you there. Let's have a click on that, and there you go. It's all there you go. There's you. So they can find all about you and stuff that you do. And I do believe
colleagues, we've got a very active Facebook page. We're there every day. Got nearly 4,000 on there. Come and join us, and I think
I've got some links I can stick up to do with that. This is linked to your website, and I think they can get to the Facebook page through the website.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thank you, fans.
Yeah, so if to check you out and see what you're doing, and of course you're always welcome for comments, aren't you? Or anything people want to get in touch with you as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll bring you up. What is it you want to finish the show off with? Your final comments.
Myself?
Yeah.
Look forward to seeing everybody on the Facebook page. Great show, by the way. Hopefully
thanks.
We can get and speak to you again. I'm going to have to get the name of your book. I'm going to have a read of that one, Will. So you can give me a link to that. That'll be helpful. Is it still in print?
I'm not sure. I doubt it. You never know. I can send you a link. I can send you the details of it, though.
Yeah, send me a link.
Hold it back up to the screen. I'll put you back up. bit further forward, the world's greatest ghosts.
I bought it when I was very young.
Brilliant. I'm interested in reading that. Brilliant stuff. Okay, no, thanks to both of you. I'll put in the lobby for a minute as I round up, and I'll chat to you guys in a sec. But thanks for everybody who's tuned in, and thanks for being a part of the show. Here you go. You can check my website out here at cambridgehistorian.co.uk, and this again is Tony's website. And of course, I'll link to their Facebook page is on there as well. What else? You can find us on Instagram in the wrong colour. I don't know why, at Cambridge Historian. You can find me on Twitter at Real Fonts. Hey. And find us on Facebook at the Cambridge Historian. And I'd like to thank everybody who's joined in with the show. It's been great having you. And final comment, I think, from Becky: leave your lights on tonight. But anyway, do take care and have a brilliant Halloween. And I'm now going to put my cat out. I think he needs to go for a little walk. Okay, no, thanks everybody, and take care.